Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekend market watch. Today is Saturday, March 15th. Sorry about not uploading a market watch last week, or maybe even the week before, I forget. I just didn't feel like it. There was no changes to the market, so didn't really want to go over anything. That being said, there have been some interesting changes with the market now, with the release of Maze of the Masters and some support releases, so we're going to go over all of that. But as always, we're going to start with the best selling of the week. 5-minute early load is down to $55. I think this is one of the lowest prices it's been for a while, since like people started playing Primite or understanding Primite Blue Eyes was going to be good. I do still think that it's not worth picking these up, because for the price of Lordly Loads and Barrel Dragons, you can pick up Malice Undergrounds and White Rabbits. You can pick up the entirety of the Ryzeal deck for the same price as probably a playset of Lordly Load. So I really don't think it's worth it. I do understand that Lordly Load and Ryzeal and White Rabbit, people are picking this up because Blue Eyes probably won't get hit, but Malice and Ryzeal will probably get hit. That being said, I still wouldn't pick them up. I still don't think it's worth it. Ultrami Fuelos is still holding 75. Meowth is holding 40, and Perulia is actually still holding 40, even though it just got a reprint. They might be kind of hard to pull. They might be shorted. That being said, the fact that it's 35 to 40 right now is really surprising. We're going to cover 7 Tachyon in a bit. Dominus Impulse is 60, Dominus Purge is 40, unsurprising. Fiendsmith the Engraver is down to 46, really surprising. We do expect that something in the Fiendsmith engine is going to get hit. Maybe Moon, maybe Lacrima, maybe Engraver itself. And we also do know that it is primed for a reprint. So I wouldn't be super surprised if it did get a reprint in Core Century Stampede, but it is going down because we do think it's going to get hit. 7th Ascension, which is used for 7 Tachyon, is holding a $40 price tag right now. Really surprising considering how cheap and how bad Legendary Duels from the Deep was for so long. I'm curious to see how much a box was, because you could pick up a box for like $25 to $30. You can still pick up a box for $25 to $30, yeah. About $30, $40-ish to pick up a box. So if you buy a box, you manage to pull a 7 Tachyon and a Droplet or a Dive or a Ghost Rare, you're still kind of making your money back. Or Fish Sonar. Fish Sonar is also a good card. But yes, the 7th Ascension, which is used for 7 Tachyon to search it, is very expensive now. Metaltron is holding a $10 price tag for a super rare from Legacy Destruction. I'm surprised, but it is really good into a lot of different decks right now. LZ of the White Forest holding 30. Not super surprised. It's been around there for a while. Baoku is down to 20-ish, 20, 25. Not super surprised. This card is used in Malice. It's used to make the Griffin lock, but it's also just generally a pretty good card. Mitsurugi Ritual is down to $11. I'm actually pretty surprised because, like I said, every time I've gone up against Mitsurugi Ryzeal, I'm like, this deck feels really, really strong. I can see why it's not as good, but I'm surprised it's gotten as low as it has. Fire King Courtier Ulticanix is still holding 20. Surprised that people are coping on Fire King still. That it has literally done nothing since it won the YCS, but it's still $20. So I guess if you want to play Fire Kings, then you gotta pay the Ulticanix tax. Druisword's holding 20 is what it is. Ice Ryzeal here at 15. Most of the Ryzeals are down to a pretty low price at this point. I think you can pick up the whole deck for not too much. Yeah, Ice is 20, Sword is 10, X is 20, Detonator is about 10, and I think Duo Drive is $1. Yeah, so you're not looking at too much for the Ryzeal deck if you do want to pick it up. That being said, we do expect something like an X to get hit, or maybe semi-limit of something, who knows, but it might get hit on the list. Alright, let's talk about Maze of the Masters. It is the newest set that has released. It is the Maze set of the year, I guess. They've done a bunch of these. This set has Odeon support, which people are coping on. It has Allure Queen and Silent Magician support, which people were coping on, but not anymore. It has the XYZ ABC Union pieces, which are very cool, but again, people are kind of coping on. It plays really hard in Control, it plays really hard in Nib. It's not that strong of a deck, but it is a very combo-centric deck. We got Trickstar stuff. Overall, this set is kind of bad. The reason to open the set is to try and get 7 Tachyon, which is right now a $70 card, or chances to pull a Perulia, which is holding 25 for the Ultra, 50 for the Collector's Rare. Other than that, there's really not a lot to go for in this set, right? Like, the XYZ Union cards are interesting, but you can see X-Cross Cannon is $4, Hyper Dragon is $4, Union Controller's 2, Union Activation is 5. You could just buy these. That's not an issue. The Trickstar stuff, while interesting, Trickstar has not been meta for a while. Really, the big thing for this set is the Odeon support, which people are just kind of coping on. It's not that amazing, and the Primite stuff, or not the Primite, the Galaxy Eye stuff, which is just an FTK engine. I did watch a couple deck profiles and explanations of the Odeon support, and it's just like a worse engine to put in like Fiend Smith good stuff. It gets bodies, and the bodies can be used as like material. That's all it is. I really don't feel like the deck is that strong. There's a lot of like interesting and really good reprints here. Herald of Orangeblight, the entirety of the Sword Soul deck got reprinted as rare, thankfully not common. Moye is super rare, but you can see you can pick up a Sword Soul deck for about, I don't know, $4 or $5. That's pretty neat. Gladiator Beast Retiari is a great reprint. That's a reprint that we've been needing for years. Let's see, what else do we got? For Charmy Perulia, we already talked about, great reprint. The Allure Queen, and the Performage stuff, while not game breaking, is kind of interesting, I will admit. What else do we have? We've got, Herald of Orangeblight, we talked about that, is cool. Of course, Crystron Quarion Gandrax is great for the Crystron pilots. I think you can now officially pick up Crystron for like a few dollars. I think there's no cards in Crystron anymore that are expensive. We have Stealth Kraken, which is a card that was getting to be like $5-6 because it was only a secret rare from a really bad set. More of the Heralds are great. Some of the Glad Beast reprints here are great. Bestiari, Laquari, War Chariot, all really good stuff, especially for Addison. And that's about it. The Clearwood stuff doesn't exist. We don't talk about the Clearwood stuff. So a decent amount of reprints and a lot of cool new cards. Just nothing that's really gonna break the meta other than 7 Tachyon. Did want to mention Obedience Schooled here. The Yummy deck, which was revealed a couple weeks ago, is all level 1 beasts, and Obedience Schooled summons 3 of them from the deck. Pretty strong card. Does lock you into beast type X monsters for the rest of the turn, so you can't do like generic comboing with them. That being said, you can do a lot of stuff. So these have gone up a little bit. They spiked from from 50-60 cents to about $2. You can pick up super rares for about $2 and ultras for about $3, so not terrible, all things considered. It probably will get reprinted with the Yummy cards if it is in a deck build pack, but I'm not sure it'll get reprinted. It's not guaranteed, it's just it might be. I want to talk about Invoker, Alistair the Invoker, the Invokes deck. Not only has it been played in Blue Eyes, so the price of the cards shot up a bunch, there's also a new Invoked Magistus card that's coming out that seems like, while not game-breaking, good for the archetypes. I did just want to go over this here. You can see Invokers, if you want to pick up Alistairs, you're going to be spending at least $7 a copy, but probably closer to 8 to 10 for any like non-gold rare copy. It might get reprinted in Last Stampede. I believe it definitely could, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Other than that, the only thing you're really paying for right now is a secret rare copy of Mechaba, either the Prismatic Secret Alt Art from the Tin or the Fusion Forces Secret. You're going to pay about $4 to $5 for those. Other than that, Purgatrio, Raijin, Elysium, they're all pretty cheap. Invocation, however, is not an Invoke K card, so let's pull that up. Invocation, yeah, you're going to be spending not too much actually. The gold rares are 50 cents, but if you want a non-gold rare, you're going to be spending at least $3 or $4. Up to like $5 depending on the printing. The Altered Invocation I think is a really cool art. It's kind of hard to tell with the prismatic foiling, but it is pretty neat. I want to talk about Argo Stars with the Odeon support, people were coping on Argo Stars, a card that was $1 shot up to like 8 or 9, and it has stayed around 6. So if you pulled some Argo Stars secret rares, or you got the ultra rare promo from a sneak peek, I would highly recommend moving them now. The sooner you move them, the better. Lastly, I want to talk about some cards that are getting support. Monarch specifically got some really cool support for the deck. It incorporates a lot of the old Monarchs into it, so you can play. It encourages you to play things like Caius and Ryza, even Mobius if you really want. That being said, there are 3 cards, I think 3 or 4. Tenacity's gotten a reprint. There's 3 cards from the original Monarch, or not the original, the Emperor of Darkness structure deck that haven't gotten a reprint. That's Pantheism, Erebus, and Aether. They're all around the same price, about $2 to $3 for a decent copy. But as you can see, it quickly shoots up to about $9 for Pantheism. Erebus, you can see, is about $5 for a decent copy, and Aether, we've got about $5 as well. So these have shot up a little bit. They haven't sold a ton. You can see there's been hardly any sales for the actual Monarchs. I think most people who like Monarchs already have them. You can see Aether was selling for very cheap, and Pantheism was as well. But because of the new Monarch support, which is really crazy, and you do play these Pantheism, Aether, and Erebus, these have shot up a lot since they only came in the structure deck. I do fully believe that these could be in OTS packs, or maybe even Quarter Century Stampede. That being said, right now, with the new Monarch support, in fact it was just revealed, leads me to believe that there's just not a lot of time for them to have included them unless they knew, which they could have, but I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that if you have these, you might want to hold on to them because they might not be reprinted very quickly. Other than what's in the structure deck, things like Kuraz and Vanity's Ruler, I think every other Monarch card has plenty of reprints. It's literally just Pantheism, Erebus, and Aether. Lastly, I want to talk about Super Quantum cards. Super Quant cards are fan favorites. If you like Super Quants, you probably already have Super Quantum cards, and you probably have played the deck. That being said, they did get support, and there has been a pretty good buyout. Grand Pulse shot up from I think 8 to 10 to about $15 to $20, $30 going on there. For an ultimate rare, the rare Grand Pulse is 8. The ultra rare Red Layer is 5 to 10. The ultra rare Magna Liger is about 5 to 10. Secret rare Great King Magnus is shot up. It shot up to $50 yesterday, and people have just been slowly populating it back down to about 20-25. That being said, there are a lot of other options. Really, the biggest one that you are going to struggle to find is Blue Layer. Red Layer had several printings. Green Layer and the Ouroboros. You only need one Green Layer and maybe 1 or 2 Ouroboros, but you really need, you do need them. Blue Layer, Red Layer are 3 ofs. And other than that, I mean, everything else is pretty cheap. White Layer is a 3 of, but it came in Dark Neostorm. Alfan is a 3 of, but it is a common. Unless you want to pick up high rarity copies of things like Grand Pulse and Red Layer and Magna Liger and Magnus, the biggest card that you're gonna struggle to get is just the Grand Pulse, which is a Wing Raiders rare, and it hasn't populated too many. You're looking at about $7 a copy right now. That being said, that is it for today's Market Watch. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, all that stuff. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.